Subtracting whole numbers. To subtract, we line up the place values and work from right to left. So let's go look at an example. Example 1. Sergio replaced the transmission in a car for $2,432. If paid in cash, there is a $250 discount. What should Sergio say the cost of the transmission is with the discount? So let's go ahead and line up our place values of these two numbers. So we have 2,432. We'll place the larger number on top and the smaller number on the bottom, and then we can subtract. So we have our ones lined up, our tens, our hundreds, and then we just have the 1,000. So now we can go ahead and subtract. So we have 2 minus 0, so that just equal to 2. 3 minus 5 can't be done, so we're going to need to borrow from the hundred spot. We're going to borrow a whole 100, so then we get 10 tens. So what we do is we cross out this 4 and we make it 4 minus 1, so that's 3. Then we're going to place a whole 10. So now this, instead of just having 3, we'll just have 13 because it's 3 plus 10. So it's 13. So we have 13 minus 5, which is equal to 8. 3 minus 2 is 1. And then we just have 2. So we're left with $2,182, as that will be the cost of the transmission with the discount. So let's look at another example. Example 2. The customer pays $2,200 cash to Sergio. How much money does he need to give back to the customer? So we have this $2,200, and the cost of the transmission was $2,182 with a discount. So then we're going to take this larger number and subtract the smaller number from it for how much money he gets back to the customer. So we have a 0 minus 2 as we start on the right, and we can't do that, and so we need to borrow. We can't borrow directly to the left of it as we usually do, because that's also 0. So what we need to do is take it from this 2, and we're going to make it 2 minus 1, so it's just 1. Then we're going to put a whole 10, so now the 0 becomes a 10, but we need to borrow to the 1 spot. So we're also going to make this a 9, so we'd make it 1 less, so now it's 9, and then we'll put a 10. Now we have in the 1 spot. So now we have 10 minus 2, which is equal to 8. Now we have 9 minus 8, which is just 1. And then we have 1 minus 1, which is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. So the change back he gets is $18. So let's look at another example. Example 3. At the start of the year, the odometer read 26,718 miles. And then at the end of the year, the odometer read 45,574 miles. So how many miles were put on the car in that 1 year? So we're going to go, we have 4, 5, 5, 7, 4. And then we're going to go ahead and subtract 26, 7, 8, 1, 8. So now we can go ahead and subtract. So we have this 4 minus 8. 4 is smaller than 8, so we can't subtract it. So we need to borrow from the 10 spot. So 7 becomes a 6 as we borrow a whole 10. So now if we borrow a whole 1 set of 10, so 4 plus 10 is now 14. So we're going to put that just 1 to indicate that's a 14. So now we have 14 minus 8, and that's equal to 6. Now we have 6 minus 1, which is equal to 5. Now 5 minus 7 can't be done, so we're going to need to go ahead and borrow from this 5 directly to the left of it. So this becomes a 4, and this becomes a 15. So 15 minus 7 is 8. Now 4 minus 6 can't be done, so we're also going to need to borrow to the left of it. So this becomes a 3, and then as we borrow a whole 10,000, this becomes essentially just 14 to indicate in the thousand spot, so we have 14,000. So 14 minus 6 is equal to 8. And then we have 3 minus 2, which is equal to 1. So the amount of miles that were put on the car was 18,856.